Hello, my beautiful luminaries. It is Sunday, January 11th, so that is the 111 portal. But if you're really looking into it, 2026 is a 1 year, so technically today is an 1111 portal as well. So we're sitting in some energy that is profound, that is asking us, what do we want for this year? How do we want to grow? What is in alignment? What feels in alignment with us? So let's just jump into this message. I've been guided to try to make my readings a little bit more brief because I know not everyone has, 45 minutes or an hour to read or to listen. So I'm going to try my best to keep it as short as possible. But at the same time, I have to give the message that comes through. So we'll just kind of see how it all shakes out. Okay, so for the collective, my beautiful luminaries, what energy is surrounding us today? Sunday, January 11th, which is the 111 portal. And if we're looking at 2026, we have a card. It is the 1111 portal. So it hasn't come to the table, but I will take note of it. It's Messenger of Earth. This is page energy. This is the energy of kind of the eternal student, someone who's always willing to grow, willing to learn. And sometimes that learning can be hard. Sometimes if any of you remember what it's like to be in school, whether it's grade school, middle school, high school, or higher education, like learning can be fun, but it also can take some serious discipline, or requires serious discipline to learn, to commit those things to memory so that you can utilize it going forward. So the Page of Pentacles there, or the Messenger of Earth, is sort of telling me that specifically for those who want to get grounded this year, this is the year to learn, to study, and to implement the things that you've learned. But more specifically, I feel like it's highlighting perhaps earth signs, since we are in Capricorn season. So let's get that first message out. What in the recent past have we learned? Okay, so we have Nine of Earth, which is Nine of Pentacles. Oh, and then we have Justice, the Four of Earth, and then we have Messenger of Air. So what we have here is what we've learned in the past, in this past 2026, era, time, year. Pardon me, it's a little bit crooked. Is that there is an abundance that is ours. We have the Justice card, and it's right. And what I mean by right is perhaps for some of us, earth signs or people who are just looking to get grounded this year, there was something about this past year that really taught us about what we needed in order to get grounded, what is right and just by us, not enduring things that aren't meant for us anymore. The Four of Earth, Four of Pentacles, is about protecting your peace. It can mean holding on to something and not wanting to let go. But in this situation, we have Nine of Pentacles, we have the Justice card, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. This is about holding on to the realization of our inherent value. We understand finally what is right for us. We understand finally that we have our own level of abundance, and this Messenger of Air, this Page of Air, is that message coming in. Maybe it requires, some learning, like we talked about just before we pulled these cards with the Page of Earth. We have the Page of Air, meaning perhaps some of you are engaging in some sort of online classes. Perhaps you are communicating with someone at a distance who is helping you kind of like hone your skill or really understand or highlight where you've grown. Or maybe simply you're just getting messages from yourself, your higher self, ancestors, dreams, that are communicating and confirming this, that you've learned, that you have your own abundance, that what you're doing and where you're going is the right path for you, and protecting your peace and your abundance is the message. Something about 2025 has illustrated what we don't want, what's time to do away with, and recognizing our own inherent value in protecting that, not letting anybody overstep boundaries. Okay, all right. So look at present energy. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the King of Cups. Then we have the Hermit in reverse. And then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. put this down right here. So for this, what this is telling me is that presently, where you are right now, you are standing in your truth. You are standing in what I like to call the truest truth that ever truth. Again, there was a recognition back here in 2025 of your inherent value, but today, during the 1111 portal or the 111 portal, however you want to look at it, you have reached a point where you understand what the truth of the matter is for you. And sometimes the truth of the matter isn't just what is good for you or how you have to protect your peace. Sometimes it has to do with the deep diving we've done over the last year, recognizing our strength as well as where we need to work. King of Cups is the energy of wanting to be emotionally balanced, wanting to be present, dependable, consistent, intuitive, fair, diplomatic, hearing someone else while also someone else hearing out you. It is being emotionally balanced. So the truth that you are recognizing currently is the importance of not only recognizing your inherent value, but the importance of being emotionally balanced. Hermit in reverse talks about, when it's upright, it talks about going inwards for that introspection, to look deep inside, to be like, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? But with the Hermit in reverse, with the cards around it, tells me that you're coming out of that reflective energy because, again, we've had the realization of your inherent value. You're not accepting less than when you deserve. That's the Justice card right there. Hermit card reverse is telling us that we have done the introspection. We have an understanding of where our life path is starting to unfold. And sometimes that life path doesn't look like what we were walking before. Sometimes doing that introspection, you recognize that, hey, maybe I've been walking a path that's been taking me a little bit, the scenic route is kind of veering farther away from where I want, and you've kind of pulling it back to the main road, if that makes sense. Not to say that you were off the path, but maybe you were allowing yourself to get involved with dynamics, relationships, I'll say it, sometimes drama, that didn't require you. And you're like, okay, wait, no. I have to pull my energy back. I have to protect my peace first. Maybe you were an overgiver. Maybe you were constantly trying to make sure everyone else was okay, making sure that someone else was satiated and calm and emotionally stable. But again, we have the King of Water here. I almost said King of Wands. So that might mean something for someone. But we have the King of Water here, King of Cups, meaning being emotionally balanced. You being able to hear someone out as well as someone else being able to hear out you. Equal give and take. So you're coming up out of that introspection because the lesson has been, this particular lesson from 2025 has been learned. Now it's about putting it into action. So now we move on to the Seven of Cups in reverse. Seven of Cups upright typically means maybe a level of fantasy, but more specifically, it has a lot to do with there being many different options that you can choose. And sometimes people get paralyzed by choice. And so rather than saying, well, I can do it this way, or I could do it that way, or I could do it this other way, and being stuck, being like, I don't know what to do, just like the Hermit, where you're coming up out of the energy of introspection and sort of, like I said, with the Page of Pentacles, the learning is about learning, committing it to memory, and then applying it to your situation. The Hermit card is in reverse in this situation is the similar to that, where you've done the introspection. It's time to stop kind of keeping yourself away from life, love, experience, friends, and start utilizing and putting into practice the things that you learn. It's kind of like you can research all you want on how to ride a bike, but you can't actually ride a bike until you get on the bike and ride it. You can look at graphs and YouTube videos and learn how to keep your balance all in study, reading books and watching videos, but you have to be able to get on a bike and ride it. So with this, you've done the introspection, but now you have to come up out of that energy of kind of like holding yourself away and letting yourself experience life, being open to experience, being open to love, being open to career opportunities, being open to just life, so you can put into practice the things that you've learned. Seven of Cups is with it in reverse is there is no confusion. You can see clearly where you're supposed to go. You can make a decision about what's right for you. That's what's happening for present energy. Now, with this one, I wanted to hang back and I'm being told to look at it. So I'm going to go ahead and look at it. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, and this is the future for this 1111 or 111 reading. The future is the 10 of Pentacles. That is like quintessentially stability and family, friends, home, love, generational wealth. So that's wonderful. Oh, we have another one. Then we have the 8 of Pentacles. This is not just working for the 10 of Pentacles, not just experiencing stability in life, love, home, family, generational wealth. It is putting in the effort to maintain. It's not just about achieving stability or achieving a relationship or achieving a job. It is consistently working towards those things. And it's not just hard work. It is work that you enjoy, that you feel purpose in. Being connected in this very, very stable energy of the 10 of Earth or 10 of Pentacles is a job well done. It is effort into something that you love. Find joy in purpose. Now, there is a lot of Earth energy already in this. We have 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. We have the Hermit, all Earth energy. So again, I want to reiterate, this reading likely has a lot to do with people who want to feel more grounded this year. And perhaps maybe it's just this weekend, but I'm also being called to look at those earth signs. I mean, we have the Hermit card, which is Virgo, and we have tons of earth, which also accounts for Capricorn and Taurus. So if you are an earth sign, this might be specifically for you, but let's just keep going. Okay, so then we got, again, Messenger of Earth. We've got the Page of Earth. This is, oh my gosh, I love this because 10 of Earth is about, again, stability, home, hearth, family, love, generational wealth. 8 of Pentacles, working for that, really learning how to dot those I's and cross those T's and not just doing it because it's hard. It's putting in effort. It is finding joy in that purpose of building and creating a stable home or a stable life or stable love, stable job. It is finding purpose and joy in doing those things. The Messenger of Earth is telling me right now that whoever this energy is attached to, yes, you're working hard and you will continue to work hard for your future, for your happiness, for your love, and you will continue to learn and grow. This is not something that you're shying away from. It's almost as if this energy, this 1111 energy or this 111 portal energy is saying, this is a time for not only transformational movement going forward, because we're, approaching the year of the fire horse, but it also is about grounded. It's about knowing to put effort into things that are really worth it and recognizing that every step of the way you can build and you can make structures, but you're also learning and growing and not shying away from challenges that may pop up because life is life. Life is going to life. So there may be challenges that do pop up, but you're not afraid of that. You almost I just heard what's the term? Powering forward like a bull. So Taurus energy. You are not afraid of the challenge. You're not afraid of change. You are ready for it. You're ready to learn and grow and celebrate the stability and the happiness that you're bringing in for this 2026 year. And it starts something about, okay, my luminaries, you might want to just take stock about what happened this past weekend. Maybe it was something that was said or done or an experience you had this past weekend, and maybe it might have felt small, just a one-off moment, like a moment that made your heart flutter or made you smile widely. But something about this weekend has really planted a seed for what is going to unfold in the first half of 2026. That's really what it feels like to me. I just heard that right now, and so I felt it was worth saying. Take it as it resonates. So one more card. Then we have the 10 of Water. So, okay. 10 of Water is emotional stability. We have emotional stability, emotional happiness, balance. We also have the King of Cups. We have the 10 of Cups. So 2 cards promoting emotional stability, emotional balance, emotional fulfillment. Earth signs, you might be dealing with someone who has lots of water in their chart, or you could be dealing with a water sign. There is something really profound about how, okay, it really, really does feel like there was something that happened this past weekend. Again, it could have been, it might have seemed just like maybe a fleeting moment, or just a moment that made your heart flutter, or made you smile real big, or made you get the warm fuzzies, or made you feel appreciated. But that feeling, whatever it was this weekend, is the beginning, like the beginning of something. I want to say beautiful. I don't want to sound cliche, but it is the beginning of something beautiful. And this 1111 or 111 portal is like, I don't want to say the perfect storm, because it's not necessarily a storm. It's like the perfect, gosh, how do I want to say this? Everything coming to the right point. This is not going to sound super eloquent, but it's like the earth signs, the earth has rested. The ground is no longer fallow. It is fertile. It is ready to receive the new little seedling that's being planted. The earth has rested. The temperature is right. The rains are going to come and give what's needed to feed that seed. Like all the situational stuff around planting this little seedling is all lining up to be the perfect moment to plant this new little seedling for this new year. That's really what it feels like. Sorry if it isn't like super eloquent, but it's all the climate, the ground, the amount of rain, the amount of sun, the amount of attention and plant food that you're giving. Like everything just is like the perfect timing to have this happen. And I feel like that's really starting to take place today. Now, I am going to get some oracles, because I did say I wanted to make this a little bit, briefer, because I know not everyone has 40 minutes to an hour to listen to a tarot reading, but I also don't want to skimp on the oracles. So give me a second while I grab those. Okay, so I'm going to use a deck called the Intuitive Whispers deck. I'll just get a couple, like maybe 3, to tie up this kind of really beautiful energy, I think, for the 111 portal or the 1111 portal, however you want to view it. So let's just get three. One for past, one for present, and one for future. Okay, so for the past, we have, you are more powerful than you know. And I do believe that is something that, can you see that well enough? Well, I hope so. I do think that was something like right here, where you recognize your abundance, you recognize what was or wasn't meant for you, or how certain cycles needed to end, how you protected your peace, and the message that you were receiving was what is right and just for you. I think you recognize all of that, and in it, that brings personal power. You stopped doubting yourself. There's something about, especially the latter half of 2025, where you really stopped doubting yourself so much and started being like, I think I'm really ready. I really want to move forward. Now, that's not to say that you couldn't be a little trepidatious about moving forward in whatever way that meant, but it does mean that at your core level, you knew you were ready. And in that, that's power. Because readiness isn't a feeling, it's an action. So there's power in that. Now, for present energy, what do we have for present energy? So we have explore fullness. So again, there's that feeling I had where if there was something that happened this weekend, and I can't quite put my finger on it. If something happened this weekend that made your heart flutter, that filled you with warmth, that made you feel like this is kind of aligning in like maybe a serendipitous, or maybe for some it feels a little spooky and supernatural. Maybe for some it feels like this feels right in a way that I can't really understand, but it just does, and it makes you feel warm and centered and happy. And for a moment in time during this weekend, you felt like, I don't want it to be a cliche, but like the weight of the world just kind of melted away for a second. This is the beginning of something really good. And the reason why it feels like that is because it's in alignment. So explore all of that. Don't be afraid to wade in deep. We have water sign. I don't know if the person that you're connected to or the situation that you're connected to, the job, the family member, the best friend, the opportunity is steeped in like emotional maturity or emotional readiness or emotional availability, or if they're just a water sign, take it as it resonates. Okay, and then for future energy, what do we have? Oops, there we go. Oh, we might have a bonus card because it just fell on the floor. This one is the power of silence. I've heard sometimes people say things like, sometimes things don't need to be said outright. They're just simply understood. And I'm also hearing right now, yes, there are moments where words don't need to be said. It is simply understood. But I'm also getting the inclination that there has been points, perhaps this weekend, or in the days coming up to this reading, where maybe there was something you wanted to say and it was really hard to find the right words to express the feeling or the experience that you were having. That feels very specific, but I do feel like maybe you're experiencing a level of like elation or joy or comfort or understanding or camaraderie that's really hard for you to articulate with words. And sometimes that's okay. Sometimes just being present is enough to convey what you're feeling. Now, the last card that fell on the floor is your mind, your body, and your soul. Oh my gosh, I love this. I'll put this at the end here because it feels like, for me, when I saw that, it made me feel like your mind, your body, and your soul have these like little threads, like the threads of fate, and they're all aligning to a point. They're all being tapped on. They're all being kind of led. So all these strings are kind of meeting together, all connected, mind, body, and soul, to a specific path. And before, perhaps that path was unclear. Perhaps you were unsure where that path was or where it was going or what it might involve. But I'm feeling like you're getting clarity on that. I'm going to grab, sorry, I know I said I was trying to make it short, but I'm going to grab one more tarot card. I'm going to put it back here for what you don't see coming. What do you not see coming? And I'm going to say for the next week. That's what I feel. What you don't see coming for the next week. Whoop, there we go. We have the Page of Water. This is an emotional offer. This is, let me put it up here closer. This is an emotional offer. This is the seed of emotion, love, connection, like genuine affection. This is earnest energy. This is very sweet. No ulterior motive, just kind of bare or naked, genuine affection or wants to move forward, genuine admiration or the beginnings of love or understanding. But something genuine is going to be coming forward in the next week. I do get a little bit of apprehension with this because it's page energy, so it's young energy, but that doesn't really mean young as in age, but that it's new. But it wants to be spoken on. So whatever that means, however that resonates, that is the reading that I'm having for today, which is January 11th, so the 111 portal, or if you want to look at it, the 1111 portal, because January 11th, 2026 breaks down to a 1, so 1111. So, my luminaries, that's what I have for today. Thank you for being here. If you like my message or you like how I read, please consider sharing, and subscribing. It really helps out my teeny tiny little channel, and it reaches those who may want to hear this message, need to hear this message, or just simply want to hear a story. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.